Hey, what's up guys? Rampedi here. Another episode, a lot to talk about. Mamelodi Sundowns complete the treble. Orlando Pirates leave it till late. Kaizer Chiefs moving fast in the market. And we'll also look at Hugo Broos' squad to face Morocco. Let's go.
That's how it goes?
They keep asking about the best when they know it's me.
Okay.
Asking about the rest when they know it's me.
Straight in, I guess.
You know it's me.
So guys, let's start off with the Nedbank Cup. So we had the Nedbank Cup final this weekend. Mamelodi Sundowns going up against Marumo Gallants, and Sundowns showing a brave fight to win that 2-1. I think they showed character in terms of not having to give up. The big players also turning up. I mean, that's the thing. Tapelo Morena doesn't start a lot of games, but when he does eventually come on, he's sort of able to contribute. And that is the good thing that Mamelodi Sundowns do as well. I think even the quality was showing there as well. And it has also completed the treble. So they've won 3 trophies. They've got the league, they've got the MTN8, and as well as they got the Nedbank Cup, completing domestic football. They were very dominant within domestic football. So how do we rate Mamelodi Sundowns this season? That's the tricky part. So I was actually thinking I'm going to go with a report format style. So call me Munir Shakes. I'm going to be the teacher who's going to be marking this report card. So as you can see, there's a paper right there in front of you. First things first, MTN8, tick. Second thing, tick for the DStv Premiership. And the next tick is for the Nedbank Cup. So how does Mamelodi Sundowns sum up the season? Because they've completed it domestically, but it's the CAF we have to also talk about. Because of the investment that they've put into the squad, you would have expected them to go much further within that competition and at least be able to dominate it a whole lot more than what they did. And then also just for me, maybe because I'm just asking a little bit more. In fact, maybe next season I'm going to be challenging teams a whole lot more. I want Mamelodi Sundowns to be a little bit more dominant within the league. So let's try get 70 points next season. But for the points that they got, 60-something, it's not too bad. So the report card for me, I'm going to give them an 82%. Yeah, so 82%, it is a distinction. It's not too bad. Once they become more dominant within the league, and then once they go further within the Champions League, I then think they will be hitting the 90s. But so far, they must be reminded that this has been a very good season because they've won all the trophies here at home. It's just CAF that they need to do better at and be able to understand that competition a lot better. A big shout out to Dan Malisela and as well as Marumo Gallants, because when you go into this tie, when you looked at the odds were favoring Mamelodi Sundowns so much that there's not many that gave Marumo Gallants a chance. And when you play up against Mamelodi Sundowns, when you go behind, especially against Mamelodi Sundowns, it's hard to sort of come back. It's hard to sort of make it a game. And they did that. And I think Dan Malisela deserves a lot of credit because of the philosophy that he plays, being able to want the ball, keep possession of the ball, and they kept it really well. And they came back with the goal to make it 1-1, sent it into extra time, and unfortunately they had a man sent off, and then that just was too hard to sort of keep Mamelodi Sundowns at bay. But that's why I want to give credit to Marumo Gallants, because you saw how much they pushed Mamelodi Sundowns. I mentioned previously that I want to demand a lot more from the rest of the other teams within the DStv Premiership because they're capable of doing that. I think there are teams that are better than 58 points, like I mentioned before. And Marumo Gallants showed it. They showed it even within the league. So it's not only just about the players that Sundowns buys. Yes, I get it. They buy big players. They buy the best players, probably you would argue. But there's teams that are capable of pushing them further than 58 points. And I will stick to that. So next season for me, I want more. But Dan Malisela as well as Marumo Gallants, big ups to you guys. Nedbank Cup out the way, let's go with DStv Premiership. So Orlando Pirates played their last remaining league games due to the fact that they were in the CAF Confederations Cup. They went all the way to the final, so they had their league games being postponed. But they've been playing lovely in these last couple of games. They've been scoring goals in these last couple of games. And the question you have about Orlando Pirates is, where was this all along? Where was this all along? And I've always spoken about the fact that Orlando Pirates is the most confusing side for me because they're capable of scoring goals with the attackers that they have. But they left it too late, and unfortunately they will not have any CAF football next season. So they will just have to do with the domestic competitions as well. And I thought to myself, I said, maybe Orlando Pirates needs this. Maybe they need to take a break from CAF. and focus locally as well. But what I will say about Orlando Pirates too is the fact that they need to find a way in a direction that they're going to go and be fully set on that direction. And what I mean by that, you can see Cape Town City and Eric Tinkler, that's home. They together, that marriage is going really well, and it looks like it's going to last maybe a couple of seasons. You look at what's going on with Royal AM and as well as John Maduka, being able to work with players that he's worked with before and just how he's achieved this season. I just doubt that they're going to part ways with him. Sundowns, Rulani, Mangoba, that one it's so obvious. Like they're going to go on again to probably win a whole lot more and probably still be within part of that coaching as well. Kaizer Chiefs announcing Zwane as their permanent coach. You can definitely tell that's going to probably be a long-term project. Then you have AmaZulu announcing Brandon Tuta as well, who's done really well. So Orlando Pirates have to get to a place where they now have to decide, is Manja and Fadlu the people to take us forward? Because all the other teams are settling and all the other teams are getting ready for next season. And Orlando Pirates just seems to be the one where it's a question. They've not necessarily announced permanently that these two are going to be the head coaches going forward. I've already stated before in my previous videos that judging by how this season has went, I think maybe this job might just be a little bit too big for both of them because I feel that this squad could have performed better. So out of CAF, and I just think it's something that they need. It's something that they'll need to sort of rebuild as well. But they have to decide if these two are the right people to go with. Amakhosi. They're in the headlines again. They've made an announcement. Zwane is the permanent coach and he's going to be assisted by Dylan Shepherd. Wow, they've acted really quickly. They didn't waste any time. And I guess that's a good thing because eventually they can start building for when the next season comes. He's on a 3-year deal. I think it's very evident to see that this is going to be a long-term project. A part of me is happy for Zwane because what he's done for the club and what he's given for the club as well. And also he gets this is your first opportunity in coaching. Like you're coaching Kaizer Chiefs, the Kaizer Chiefs. So he's going to definitely grab it with both hands. But also for the management, I really hope that they do everything right in terms of recruitment, in terms of having to assist him as well. And the fans also getting behind him. But the management, they need this to go right. They need this to work. They can't stand another couple of years coming in without success because eventually, if there is no success, there's going to be questions that are going to be thrown at. Kizum Gaung, a legend. He's created a club that is loved, a club that I grew up supporting as well. And now he's passed it on. He's passed it on to his children. So they need this to work because eventually if it doesn't, questions will be thrown at them. And I think this time around, they got the message. And with the messages that are coming out as well, I just think that this time around, they will do things a lot different. I'm not expecting Kaizer Chiefs to, out of a sudden, win the league. But I do expect them to start competing again and ferociously competing again. So all the best to Zwane, all the best to Dylan Shepherd. It's going to be a big season next season, and you can tell there'll be a lot of changes made. Staying with Kaizer Chiefs, they've already made moves within the transfer market. They're moving really quickly. And as I said, a rebuild is probably going to be needed, and already they've started really quickly. They've got 2 players, announced them as well, and as well as Stellenbosch announced that they will be leaving. Ashley Dupree and as well as Zita Kwinika as well. They will be going to Kaizer Chiefs. I think when I look at Zita on the other hand, I think he's a very good player. I didn't know this, but he's actually part of Kaizer Chiefs' youth product. So the fact that he's coming back home is a very good thing. And I think what helps him is the fact that his versatility is something that's going to help him a lot. He can't play only one position. You can throw him at right back. You can throw him at left back if needed. He can also play centre back and maybe even just ahead of the defenders as well. He can play there as well. So I think his versatility is something that is needed for the club. And I just think also because he's been part of the club too, he'll be able to give his all. There's just something about playing for the club that you are part of the youth setup with. And then we move on to Ashley Dupree, a striker who scored a number of goals for Stellenbosch this season as well. Probably his best season that he's had within his career. I've got mixed feelings regarding this one. I know everybody is excited and I know everybody's speaking positives. There is positives, but I've got mixed feelings. Mixed because on the one hand, I'm thinking to myself, he's better than what Chiefs have right now. So signing him is not a bad idea because I think what Chiefs have at this moment is better than that. I think even numbers, I'll show you even numbers for yourself. As you can see on screen, I saw this tweet by Betway and I was very surprised by that. So he scored 9 league goals last season or this past season with Stellenbosch, whereas the other front line, the forwards of Kaizer Chiefs have only scored 2 goals. These are the centre forwards, the actual strikers, not the wingers in terms of Kamambilet and Keegan Dolly, but he scored more than those strikers at Kaizer Chiefs. So he's better than what Chiefs have at this moment. The mixed feeling comes in on the negative side where you think to yourself, how will he be deployed at Kaizer Chiefs? And deployed because I think what made him score a lot of goals is the system that Stellenbosch was playing. They were always playing on the transition, always sucking in players. And then eventually when they break out, the pace is something that he has. But now Zwane is trying to dominate the game. He's trying to dominate possession. So he's going to be the team that always has the ball all the time. And that would mean Ashley Dupree is probably not going to always have the chance to run in behind, especially when teams are setting deep. And that would mean he'd have to be a lethal finisher like as our leader is, like Amasonda is on a very good day. And is he that? Is he that? Because his pace is the biggest threat that he does have. But if he's not always going to be running in behind, will he be able to finish? And I'm not going to lie, I look at Kambole as well. When Kambole came to Kaizer Chiefs, I was excited because I saw this video of him playing and as well as also playing for Zambia. And you just thought this guy's going to score a lot of goals. But eventually it just didn't happen and he was not able to finish chances. And eventually, so quickly it turned. And that's when I realized that this jersey is heavy. Kaizer Chiefs jersey is heavy. Like a player can come in with such a high reputation, play for Kaizer Chiefs, and all of a sudden, it's like they're parting ways. For free, no hal. So I really hope he goes to Kaizer Chiefs and I really hope that he's able to score goals and finish them as well because it will be a different system that he'll be playing in. But good luck to both players. PSL Awards happened over this weekend. The big winners, of course, Andile Jalian as well as Peter Shalile as well. And as you can see on screen, these are the winners for each category as well. So as you can see, look, Shalile winning the footballer of the season, Jali winning the midfielder, coaches of the seasons, Rulani and Mangoba as well. I actually got some of these predictions right. Hugo Marks as well, getting the goalkeeper of the season, but you can see those. And I want to say big credit to Shalile as well as Andile Jali. I think for me, Andile Jali, in terms of consistency, he's been possibly my football of the season, but he won a lot of awards and credit to him and just being able to come back. And remember, there was all that doubt about Andile Jali when he did come back, when he had that long-term injury, when he was not playing for Mamelodi Sundowns. And the player that he's come back in the way that he has come back and putting the standard in midfield in terms of how midfielders should play, I think he deserves a lot of credit. And I want to throw this message to Andile Jali. There's a lot of talk about Bafana and why perhaps you're not selected. Yeah, I think you could be selected. There's no denying that. There's no denying your quality. But I just think if you're not going to be selected and if the coach has made it clear that you're not going to be selected, I just think just put the noise out. Don't listen to anybody. Don't even talk about it. I think if people want to bring it up to you, don't even entertain it. Because he's made his stance clear. And I think you're a quality player. But there's no need to keep on hopping onto this thing. And it's not even you that's creating this noise. That also annoys me a little bit, is that it's not you who's talking about why you should be selected. But for me, keep going. You've got a long career still ahead of you. I think you can still play for a number of years. But the Bafana thing, put it behind you. You're a quality player. Bafana head coach Hugo Broos has announced his squad to face Morocco. He's chopped it down. Remember, we talked about the Preez squad. Now he's selected his final squad. As you can see on screen, the final squad for you guys. He's gone with 3 goalkeepers, the midfield as well. He's only gone with 4 midfielders, so which is very interesting. I think he's going to try go out for attack or probably even play maybe 3 at the back or 5 at the back, potentially against Morocco. Of course, it's going to be a very tough game. But obviously, he was asked about the squad and he was asked about certain players and there's certain things I'm just not really going to entertain. But the one thing that always sticks with me every time he's speaking all the time is the fact that he hasn't met with the coaches yet. And I really wish he could meet with the coaches, the PSL coaches. I really wish that he could have that meeting, because there's a part of him you could see that he wants to see perhaps why the training regimes are at particular clubs, or understand in terms of how players play. And I think we do need that. We do need that. If we want to have a Bafana that's competing again, that is strong again, I think everybody has to sing one song. And that's including the Bafana coach and as well as the PSL coaches. So for me, I just hope that they will meet, have some dinner or lunch or hot dogs, whatever, and eventually meet in terms of how the Bafana can play as well. So which would be very helpful as well. So good luck to Bafana. Morocco is not going to be easy. Continental football now. Pitso Mosimane and Al Ahly lost to Wydad. And it's hard to lose finals, of course. And Pitso Mosimane stays with 3 Champions League medals. That is still a very good feat. Now, obviously, there's been reports that have come out in recent times or in the past couple of months where some have mentioned that Al Ahly shouldn't keep Pitso Mosimane. And I would argue differently. I really hope that they stay with him. I really think he's a very good coach. I mean, obviously, Al Ahly have these high standards for always having to compete for the biggest trophies. And when they're not able to win them, sometimes they do go from time to time to changing coaches. But you just look at what Pitso Mosimane has done within Egypt, the way that he's been able to connect with the fans as well. And the one thing about Pitso is he'll always come back stronger. He'll always come back stronger. I reference a time when he won the league title with Sundowns, and the following season, Kaizer Chiefs won the league title with Stuart Baxter, but he came back the following season. And from then on, it's just been Sundowns winning that. So I really hope that they stay with him, and I really do believe that he will always come back stronger. It's that time again, guys. It's that time for Bet of the Week. So Bet of the Week is where obviously I give you my bet slip, hoping that it lights in green. Unfortunately, the last one didn't light in green. Did anybody see that Liverpool was not going to score against Madrid? Because that was it. That was the only game. If they had just scored, the bet slip was going to be done. But now I got questions. People were tweeting me. Some were DMing me as well, asking me that now that club football is done, what are we going to bet on now? What is there to look forward to? And it's actually quite a lot. There's the AFCON qualifiers that are coming up, the World Cup qualifiers that are coming up, and the friendlies as well. But this time around, I've only got 2 games that I'm going to be looking forward to, that I've put on the bet slip as well. The first one being a very crucial one for Scotland and Ukraine as well, both trying to qualify for the World Cup. So for that one, Scotland going up against Ukraine, I've gone with the both teams to score. I think because of the magnitude of the game, you just see both teams just always trying to score as well. That's the first one. And then the second one, I've gone with an international friendly. I actually think there will be a number of goals within this tie, because even both sides love to attack, and even the attackers that they have. Mexico going up against Uruguay. I just think there will be goals there, and I've gone with an over 2.5. But now here's the best part. The odds. I can't believe it. Just for 2 games, the odds are sitting at 4.30. 4.30. That means 4 times the money back. So hoping that will come right. And always remember to place your bets at betway.co.za. Another episode, guys. It's come to an end of it. You sometimes wonder where did the time go. But obviously, before I go, I always have to pay tribute as well. Carlo Ancelotti winning his 4th Champions League trophy. We talk a lot about the greatest managers of all time. Sir Alex, Pep Guardiola, if you want. And Jose Mourinho too. We have to give him a shout out for what he's done in the Conference League, being the first manager to win the Conference League, Europa League, and as well as the Champions League. And I think for those managers, especially Carlo Ancelotti, I put him into that sentence. And from now on in my football debates, when we talk about managers, he's going to be there. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so that you're notified for future episodes. See you next week.